Yeah, immediately, in the next day or so, it was obviously a lot of excitement. Seems like a long time ago now, but at the time, yeah, I think a lot of people had fun. We had a great turnout down there. It was awesome to see the red wave in full force and enjoying the game, and so it was a great experience for the kids.
What did you guys really get from the bye week? What's the benefit of having that break in the schedule of where it was?
Well, a little bit of rest and recovery. We worked on some fundamentals early in the week, and then had a couple days off over the weekend, came back to practice yesterday. But really that's all about rest, recovery, nutrition, hydration, just try and get treatment and, take care of all the bumps and bruises and try to get healed up and fresh, ready to go and make a push.
And I know going into the year you knew Toledo would be a tough matchup, a team that has talent, is physical. What did you see from their win over Nevada the other day, putting all those points on the board?
Yeah, they're explosive. They're a very dangerous team. When you look at a team like that who has 19 out of 22 that are either juniors or seniors, they're a very experienced team. They've had a lot of success in their program. They're very well coached, very explosive on offense, with a core of receivers that are probably as good as any. And the quarterback's playing really well and very dangerous when he pulls the ball down. I think he ran for 150 yards or something. I don't know what his net was, but somewhere in the 130s maybe. But he can make some big plays with his legs, and he's a very accurate passer. And those receivers are very dangerous.
Speaking of running the football, do you think Ronnie Rivers may suit up for Saturday?
Oh, I don't know. We're on a progression, see how it works out. I don't know. We'll take it day to day, week to week.
How excited are you to be back at home? It's been a while. I mean, it's been a while since you played that home opener.
It's been nearly a month, and so it'd be great to come back home and almost forgot what pregame looks like. I had to remember what we do on Friday and things around here, and it just seems like a long time since we've been here. So it's great to come back, and hopefully we have a good crowd and can make it difficult on Toledo and our stadium with our crowd noise, and so we need everybody to come out and help us with that.
Questions for Coach? Any questions from the group? None today?
Coach, how big a deal is momentum in your eyes? Toledo coming in with 63 points. I mean, you guys obviously had the big win, but then you got the week off to recover. Does momentum even play into your thought process at all?
No, not really. It's last week's gone, and our team understands. I asked our team last week who was here the last time Fresno State played Toledo, and quite a few guys in the room raised their hands, and didn't go so well. And so, but that's a long time ago as well. But we have tremendous respect for them, obviously, and going to have great days of preparation and practice and come out and play our A game, because they're a very good football team. And so the momentum piece, no, not really. Typically you lose that anyway after a game. You refocus and re-energize for the next week, and it's amazing how fast you can forget last week, typically through the season, because you just get so ingrained in preparation for the next week that you kind of, and that's good. Or it's good in both ways. Whether you're successful or not successful, you have to move on and refocus. And so it was a good week for us to take care of some fundamentals, get a little jump start on Toledo, and we went recruiting and over the weekend, so that was beneficial for us. But guys are focused and re-energized and ready to go.
Any other questions?
Coach, with recruiting, I know you can't get into any specifics. We don't want to violate anything with the NCAA, but do you find recruiting easier coming off that win over UCLA and just with the renewed sense of what Bulldog football is, not just in the Valley but up and down the state?
Yeah, I don't know. I believe that that there was a lot of exposure from that game that especially a lot of Southern California kids saw, and really overall in recruiting, I think it was good for us and good for our program, and recruiting is going well, and but again, that was last week and it's over. You have to sustain through the whole year. But yeah, I think there's a lot of kids that are really upbeat about our program right now and considering being a Bulldog.
You also had a unique opportunity this weekend when you were scouting Toledo. They played Nevada, who you play after Toledo. I know you're focused on Toledo, but were you able to get in some advanced scouting on Nevada just by watching that game?
No, not really. It was. We'll get to that more specifically when that time comes. But our focus is 100% on Toledo.
Anyone else have a question for Coach Tedford?
Coach, what benefit, if any, is it having Kalen and Ryan game planning against this program 2 years ago?
Well, they do. They have some background with them for sure, and have total respect for them because they have competed against them before. So they have a little bit of knowledge about some of the guys on their team because they saw them up close and personal. And that's really it brings a lot of respect of seeing those receivers and how they play and how physical they are and how sound they are on defense, and it's an all-around great program. They've had a lot of success, and in their opinion, they've been the class of that conference for quite a few years, and so just bring a lot of respect from what they're all about, and but as far as X's and O's and things like that, not necessarily. Every year there's a new team and different people playing and things like that. But what you're going to get with Toledo as far as hard-nosed, tough, disciplined football.
Any further questions? Coach today? One last one as well.
Coach, I know you're looking forward to Toledo, but we didn't get a ton of time to talk after that game at UCLA about how special it was and how unique it was. And for you, as somebody who grew up as a UCLA fan in Southern California, to see the fourth quarter of that game, the Rose Bowl be all red, and hear the chant Fresno State, and then to see your players go and celebrate with the red wave, how satisfying was that for you personally?
Well, personally, not really. I don't really think of it that way. But when you look down, you see the players interacting with the fans, and the fans so excited, and the players so excited. And then you go in the locker room and you see the reaction of the players. That's what it's all about. The hard work and effort and dedication our players put into this, and to be able to enjoy that and see the support from our fans was awesome. It really was. I was amazed at, number one, during the game, how loud they were, that they had a presence there in such a big stadium. And then I really didn't look until the end of the game when I was going out of the tunnel and looked, and all the way up was the red wave, and it was awesome. It really was. And so anytime that your fans can take part in something like that, and it looks like they're having such a great time and so proud of their program and things, that's an awesome sight. And so I hope we can do the same here in Bulldog Stadium this week, that everybody turns out and comes to support the team and backs us and helps be that 12th man, so to speak.
And there are probably quite a few people who are at that UCLA game who weren't at your season opener. Is there something that you hope they saw in the way your team played that convinces them to come this Saturday night?
Well, I hope that they see the same thing every time. I can't guarantee anything, but the thing I do know is that our team's going to play hard, and they're going to play disciplined, they're going to play fast, and they're going to give great effort down in and down out. And I always appreciate that about our team. Whether we're successful or not, what you're going to get from our guys. And So it would be no different this week. It'd be a great football game, against a great team in Toledo, and we're going to have to bring our A game. But hopefully, over the last year and a few games that people have seen that we're going to compete really hard, and we're going to play fast, physical, disciplined football, and hopefully make a lot of plays. And so if people like that, then they should come watch.
I know your job is to focus on the present and what's in front of you, but the rest of us get to talk about the fun little connections. And it's interesting how much of a history Fresno State has with the Mid-American Conference, being so far away from that part of the country. The Mercy Bowl team will be honored this weekend. Back in '61, they beat Bowling Green and finished the 10-0 season. I think you had a little personal history against the MAC in a bowl game here in this stadium, too. Do you have fun kind of reliving some of those memories when you know there's a MAC opponent on the schedule?
Now that you mention it, I guess yes, but it's not something I really think about, to tell you the truth. It really has nothing to do with us and this team and this year and this week, that type of thing. Even a few years ago or whatever, whenever they played last, I know it didn't go well, and so, but what does that mean to us? It's a whole new year, a whole new team, a whole new mindset. And so, I really don't think about things in the past so much about nostalgia or whatever. Now that you bring the Bowling Green game up, that was obviously a awesome event, for this program and for me and my team at the time. That was a hard-fought game that we were fortunate to come out victorious in. Kind of capped off a really positive season with our 11th win. And so, but what that has to do with this week, really nothing.
I had a feeling you'd say that. What we'll have to do with this week, I would imagine every week, but especially this week, special teams. How impressed have you been with some of the plays Toledo's been able to make on special teams early in the year?
Yeah, a couple punts blocked for touchdowns, a 98-yard kickoff return this last week for a touchdown. When those things are happening, you know that you're up against a well-coached team and a team that plays really hard. And kickoff return, they're dynamic. Their returner, he's their best receiver as well. And so they have a lot of ability. And that's the thing. When I look at their experience, and when they have 19 out of 22 guys are either juniors or seniors, they've been through a lot of battles together, and so they have, I'm sure, a lot of belief in what they're doing and a lot of confidence in what they're doing, and they play very fast and very physical. They're a great football team, and so it's a huge challenge for us.
And last thing for me, second straight year, statistically, Fresno State has one of the top defenses in the country. Now you're going up against an offense, a team that put 63 on the board the other day. How do you want your defensive players to approach that challenge? How do you want them to mentally approach what's in front of them?
Same as they always do. It's no different than, it really doesn't matter who we play, because if we're changing our mindset every week, then you're setting yourself up for some bad things, in my opinion. Every week has got to be the same. As far as, now we may change some schemes and we may do this and that, but the mindset about how we run to the ball and how we tackle and how we're fundamentally sound and how we don't have personal fouls and play smart football, and that's how our defense plays. And as long as we continue to do that, then I think Coach Watts and the defensive staff does a really nice job of putting them in a position to be successful. But there's going to be ebbs and flows to games. No different than the UCLA game. They came back, hit a big one, and I think it was 16-14 at the time. But continued to play hard, forced some turnovers. It was big, and that's what it's going to take again. It's just going to take a total team effort and have the defense and everyone on our team in every position just to rely on their fundamentals and their techniques and to trust them and to do what we do every single day in practice and just take that from the practice field to the game field, and have belief and confidence in what we're doing in those fundamentals, and play fast. And so I think our defense has shown that, that's what they do, and but we're up against a really good group this week, no doubt about it. But we always talk about it really doesn't matter who we play. It's all about us and how we take care of our business and how we're disciplined in what we're doing. And execution is a big deal.
Let me throw one more at you. You say it's all about you and your team, and I know you have great confidence in your team and the leadership, and that you have high expectations. But did you learn something about this team with the way they bounced back after that tough loss on the road to Minnesota, the injuries you suffered in that game, to see them come out and perform the way they did and be united the way they were against UCLA?
Yeah, when you look at it's, we've only played 3 games, but we've had different I wouldn't say challenges, but we've had different events in each game. The first game was kind of a one-sided game. Coming back, getting down, and being down at halftime and bouncing back and having a chance to tie it. One play obviously didn't go our way, but to show that we had the fortitude to come back and put ourselves in that position, and then to be ahead in the UCLA game, momentum switched, and UCLA had the momentum at 16-14 at that time, and then to be able to overcome that and regain the momentum and pull away. So I think all those things for the mindset of the team, those are challenges, and dealing with adversity and treating setbacks as temporary and just continue to play and believe in one another. I think we've had that, especially in the last 2 games. So, and that's what it takes. There's going to be different things that happen in each game, and you have to respond to them. And the last 2 games we've had to respond to a couple things, and I think we have, and and that's what it's going to take, just to continue to play for 4 quarters, no matter what happens, no matter if we're up or down or whatever it is, just continue to try to play one play at a time.
Perfect. Well, that will let Coach go. Thank you.
All right, thank you.